All right, hello again. I'd like to read you an excerpt from Effortless Mastery by Kenny Werner. He's a great jazz pianist and educator that has the Effortless Mastery Institute at the Berklee College of Music in Boston. And I personally got to meet him and talk to him. He's a great musician as well as a wonderful human being. And I picked up this book about, 7 to 10 years ago. And I wanted to revisit it and read a little bit from one of the chapters here. This is chapter 13, Effortless Mastery. The term effortless mastery is actually redundant because mastery is the effortless execution of music. It does not refer to how many things one can do, but rather the quality with which one does anything. If something can be done perfectly every time without thought, it is said to be mastered. The jazz master unconsciously calls upon a wealth of information from which he improvises his solos. The classical master performs all aspects of the piece, fingering, dynamics, and all the correct notes without thought. At performance time, the music plays itself while the musician observes. Being a master of improvised music does not mean that one is able to play every style or every kind of tune. It doesn't mean being a good Latin player and fusion player, as well as playing great bebop, although such a person may be called a master of styles. The term mastery doesn't refer to playing complex chord changes, such as John Coltrane's Giant Steps, or being able to play Flight of the Bumblebee. Mastery is playing whatever you're capable of playing every time without thought. That is why the great ones can do what they do every night without faltering. It is that easy. Why do certain jazz artists burn every night on every solo? Because burning comes easily to them. They may drool when they speak, have trouble writing their names or tying their shoelaces, but at the instrument, they burn. Now, if I was like that, I'd probably be a little bit concerned for myself. There are masters of different aspects of music. For example, Wynton Kelly was a master of the groove. He didn't have the chordal development that Bill Evans had, but the way he danced on the groove was transcendent mastery. Miles Davis couldn't play all the notes that Dizzy Gillespie could, but he was a master of deep space, phrasing, and expression. To be perceived as a master, one must stay within the boundaries of what comes naturally and easily. After we hear a great musician, we might be tempted to reach for things that we do not understand and play over our heads. It is at that precise moment that we lose our way or lose the inner connection. Tension and pressure have replaced the flow. Ironically, it is when we are trying to sound brilliant that we stumble, whereas when we stay within ourselves, we sound better. There is always a schism between what the ego wants to play and what wants to come out. Although the master player may have great technical ability, you will not sense his attempt to show it. The technique manifests unconsciously. Many of our favorite artists are not overwhelming technicians, but make deep statements. Others may be technical marvels, but we criticize their lack of expression. In jazz, we have examples of musicians who may not be on the cutting edge technically, but who are undoubtedly masters of pure music. While listening to them, you can't conceive of any other way to play. In sports, it often happens that the team with less stars wins it all. The players or coach will always talk about staying within themselves, or just doing what they can do. In improvised music, the one who stays within himself may be perceived as a master. The apex of impressive artistry is the ability to perform technically advanced music with the same ease and inspiration as a simple folk song. If one combines masterful technique with the channeling of inspiration directly from within, the result can be awesome. I regard execution of scales, chords, and dynamics and expression as being technical. After all is mastered, the inner being may manifest, unimpeded by the vehicles, an example, the performer's lack of knowledge. In this light, training oneself to the highest possible level may be regarded as an act of worship to that inner being. Wow. Couldn't be more perfectly said by Kenny Werner. This is a wonderful book to dive into, and especially if you're at a point in your development where you're struggling a little bit. Maybe struggling with your mind. Are there too many thoughts in your head that are causing doubt and fear? Kenny's book here, it addresses all those things. And when I read this book a while back, I was dealing with the struggle of trying to figure out what my musical identity was. You know, I was playing many styles of music, playing in lots of bands and making ends meet and making money like any musician would. But what really drew me back was my essence, who I was as the basic level of my being. And, you know, a sentence resonated with me here in this book. It says, "To be perceived as a master, one must stay within the boundaries of what comes naturally and easily." I mean, that's perfect advice. But it's so hard because the ego wants us to be more than we naturally are. It tries to grasp at maybe things that may make us sound better than others, or may make us look better, or things that, you know, we may feel highly about. So that's what I wanted to bring here to this video, is introducing you to a way to heal, to express yourself in a positive way. And I know this book has done a very good job at helping me find who I really am and the type of music I enjoy. So thanks for spending this little time with me here, and I hope to read a little bit more every now and then from this book. So check it out.